right, so we got Matt and Aaron here. We're going to talk about the NFL playoffs. They know way more about it than I do, and they're going to lead us through it. And I know Matt is super excited for this year. Go ahead and tell them why.
Number one seed goes through Mile High, baby. We're back. We are back. Let's do it.
All right, right on. So we got in the AFC, the first matchup we got um, the Bills and the Jags. Um, Nobody even took the Jags. We had two teams in the playoffs that no one was taking. Jags and the Seahawks. Seahawks was a big one. So that's now we got two teams that were big teams. From one from baseball, which was the Blue Jays, and now the Seahawks from football that were big and nobody took. So it's a pretty big thing for me, I think. And then they're going to be available again in free agency next year. But anyway, what do you guys think about the Bills and the Jags?
Aaron, you can start.
And looking at this matchup, I mean, for the last several years, the Bills have kind of been one of those teams that has always been there. I mean, they have Josh Allen, who is easily a top 5 player in all the NFL. And you can't only deal with his arm, but his legs on creating. And so he's always been relevant in the last couple of years. But just like we were all wrong in not taking the Jaguars have been a surprise with bringing in a new coach, and they had a couple of new additions, but really for what they worked with, they had a young core that had struggled, that now they're actually developing as a team. And maybe it was just having a different coach or a different style, but they came in here, and I think the Jacksonville hosting it is the difference in it, and I think the Jags will beat the Bills. That's kind of one of the closer matchups in there, but whoever wins that one, unfortunately, will see their doom next round. But I think the Jaguars.
I actually think Buffalo's gonna get him this time, or for this game. Think that Aaron made pretty much all the points I would make. I'm just gonna come down to the experience factor in the playoffs, and I think this Buffalo has the edge there. And if it's not now for Josh Allen, then it's never going to happen. So he's going to push through this wild card round, and I like Buffalo.
Man, Josh Allen's done after this if he doesn't win?
I don't think he's done, but I mean, if he can't get this now, but he's...
It's like when he was facing the Chiefs the last couple of years. He couldn't win when it counted. But yes, I do. Yeah. I think this is one of the closest games.
Definitely, yeah. I'm glad this is Sunday at 1. It's a perfect prime time, or it's a perfect game for that time slot. Yeah.
Awesome. And okay, Chargers and Patriots.
Matt, you want this one?
Yeah. I mean, I think we have a new dynasty possibly in the making with old Drake May and these New England Patriots. And one season they made a huge jump. Granted, I think they played a last place schedule. I totally get that. I think they're kind of a lot like how Denver was last year, where they played maybe 1-2 playoff teams all season long. And that's obviously a factor into it. Herbert feels a little banged up. I know he had last week off. That was a big thing, that Chargers rested a lot of their guys. So they do have that factor, but sometimes that week off can be a little rusty. And just overall, I think that New England defense is going to be the deciding factor. I'm with New England in this one.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Matt on New England. I just think it being, I'm always one that looks at where they're playing, and I think New England playing there, and I mean, the Chargers do have a run game, but with Herbert, when he's going to have to pass and use his legs, he still isn't 100%. And I think that defense is going to take advantage of him. So I'm definitely same side. I don't agree with your dynasty comment, but
Little
I
early, little early. Little
I
early.
would say that they have taken a lot more steps up a lot quicker than what I think everybody thought, and especially challenging Buffalo that early, who has been that. But I do think that with it being in Foxborough, that the Patriots are going to win that.
Oh, just so you know that Anthony took that one for 4 years, $1. Yep, $1 per year. Yeah. All right.
That's
That's
a good
dynasty
pick.
value right there.
that is quite dynasty value.
Wow. Okay, so we got then the Texans and Steelers.
So I really want to go with the Texans, but
No,
I
of course you
the
do.
thing is, I look at it, it's in Pittsburgh, and that's where yeah, I'm on the fence about it. But with it being old Aaron Rodgers, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I don't know. It's a coin toss just like that Buffalo Jacksonville game. Being a Monday night game, I just think that the Steelers in the last game prime time, they're going to find a way to win. It'll probably be an ugly game, but I'm going to go with the Steelers in a close win.
Hasn't it been like a very long time since they've got past the first round? Am
The
I wrong about
Steelers?
that? Yes. Or am I wrong about that?
They've struggled. They've always made the playoffs and not went very far. That's why ultimately that Baltimore Pittsburgh game, if that field goal would have went in, you would have seen Tomlin on the way out.
Wow.
And I really think it was between Harbaugh and Tomlin, this just having long coaching careers that and it could still be where Tomlin, if he loses this first game, I could see him being on the hot seat.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Steelers. And Matt, who do you got?
I think Pittsburgh's losing streak continues in the playoffs. I think Tomlin also gets fired after this loss. This Houston team, that defense is just super, super nasty. I mean, I don't see Aaron Rodgers containing the defense too well, and I see a lot of sacks probably in his future, maybe some picks, but I definitely like Houston in this one.
So like Gainwell player prop, if you bet on it, Kenneth Gainwell is probably going to have a decent game. He's a good catch passing. So depending on what the weather is there, they're going to have to. I mean, it's probably going to be cold like it will be here on Sunday, but yeah, it's going to be one that I think they're going to have to use more of the. Yeah, and I don't know C.J. Stroud if he's going to deal with that, because he plays his home games inside of a dome, so we shall see.
When do they play? Do you know what the weather's going to be like?
They're the Monday. They're the last game, so they're the Monday night game.
Mm-hmm.
That's like I don't know, because I bet a lot of player props and stuff like that for NFL. I usually look at the NFL weather, and I think what's coming through here is going to get a lot colder here. But like Saturday night, we'll come up to the Packers Bears game. They have a good chance of snow just because of the cold front that's coming through, and being that it's in January, outside teams, that affects where you get some of these teams, the Texans. They're not in the playoffs, but like the Saints, teams like that play inside for their home games, it's a big change. The Miami Dolphins, Tua struggled every time he was in cold weather. And I don't know. I don't know Stroud's record, and I guess I'd have to look that up. But I just think Rodgers is more excited for it.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Experience matters.
Yeah.
Okay, moving over to the NFC. This one's kind of funny to me just because I traded Mike. I'm tanking it basically, but I traded the Rams to him for the Panthers, and now they're playing each other, which I just think is ironic, and they're in the playoffs. But Yeah, it'd be funny if the Panthers ended up winning that one over the Rams, just for that reason. But what do you guys got for that one?
You're talking the Rams and Panthers.
Yeah,
I definitely like the Rams. I think Rams are very favorable in that spot. I think they're happy to be playing in Carolina, a warm weather climate. I think Rams would probably also be one of those teams that Aaron was alluding to that probably doesn't play the best in colder conditions. I think you saw a little bit of that last year in the NFC Championship where it started snowing and the game just completely went in Philly's favor. And luckily, they won't have that issue. I mean, maybe some rain, but I'm not worried about that. I definitely like potential MVP Matthew Stafford winning in a pretty decisive battle, actually, in that one.
Yeah, I'm also choosing the Rams. My thing is with following the Packers. They didn't play the Rams this year, but they did play the Panthers, and that was one of the Packers' losses. Bryce Young's really kind of matured a little bit as a quarterback, but I still think with it come playoff, he doesn't have the experience that Stafford has, and they're expecting to get. And yes, this is a favorite of mine, but Devontae Adams should be playing, and with him and Puka on the field. It's going to be difficult for them to contain the receivers, and Stafford should have time and people to throw to.
the thing about the Panthers, I know that even though they made the playoffs in our thing, they're still a -2. And I think that's partially because of how far down they are compared to everybody else. Plus, we started using the differential as the points differential as a tiebreaker, and theirs was just way below the other people that I think they may have been tied with 3 or 4 other teams. I just updated it, and I think their differential was well below everybody else's, which pushed it all the way down. So, yeah, it doesn't really speak well to them, I don't think.
Well, that whole division with the Saints and the Buccaneers and the Falcons, they all had issues. I thought the Buccaneers was gonna come out of there, but their big thing was injuries, especially offense. They lost most of their receiving core. Pretty sure. Well, I mean, their main back Bucky Irvin was out half the season. They were relying on second and third string guys, and Baker Mayfield. He can make things happen. He can make magic, but he can also make some mistakes. And not having some stars out there, especially Mike Evans or Chris Godwin, they kind of didn't have that chance to. And you have like Atlanta. Penix was still inexperienced. Then he kept getting hurt, and then eventually Cousins came in. They did have a winning streak to finish the season, but just because of how they did so bad, they didn't have enough chance. They still had kind of a chance in the last couple of weeks to win the South. And then you have the Saints that they don't have a quarterback. They need to figure something out on a whole personnel change for especially their offense.
All right, moving on. What you
I
got
went off on the NFC South. That doesn't go with the bracket.
No, that's fine. I don't care. It's good.
I would love for the Green Bay Packers to be in the NFC South. They would dominate. So.
Yeah. How fun!
I think any team would dominate. Even the Jets would have a chance.
I mean, I led into it. I'm like how bad they're doing as compared to like there had to be an explanation for it. And you gave a perfect one, so hey, you're good to go. No problem.
But I will tell you that the chance that the Panthers do have in this is how Bryce Young plays, because most of their losses came when Andy Dalton started. Bryce Young was out, I think, 4 or 5 weeks, and they didn't win a game in that. So you got to think of their 9 losses, that they could have been at, that could have been down to 4 instead, just having Bryce Young in there. So I think he's young, he's inexperienced, but he made that team to make the playoffs. So that's their shot is through him.
Okay. Moving on, we got the Packers and the Bears.
Matt, you want to start with us?
You want me to?
Sure. I'll put my 2 cents in after.
He's long-winded at this point.
Yeah,
needs a breather.
no, this will be a Green Bay victory. I think Chicago's going to do Chicago-like things. Not taking anything away from Green Bay to begin with. I think Chicago, though, more will do Chicago-like things in this game and shoot themselves in the foot a few times, and something you can't do against Jordan Love. I don't know. I know, Aaron, you at one time mentioned it might be windy there. I don't know if it's still wind is in the forecast, and I know that doesn't favor Green Bay so much with the passing game, but I still like Green Bay in this one.
Well, I love to hear that. I hope Chicago does Chicago things because they've done that throughout the years. The one thing that I do, and I talked to Matt about this, was the weather normally is something that would help the Packers because they can deal with the cold. But I think with this game, it's going to be a lot more running. And Chicago, they've really improved on their offense, on their offensive line and running game. My red flag for the Packers, and I hope the Packers dominate this game, is their pass defense, and they have to put pressure on Caleb Williams because when he's not comfortable, he makes a lot of mistakes and he does the Chicago things. But if he has time, and it stinks that Parsons isn't playing for this. They make mistakes, and hopefully they can get to them and at least limit their running because Chicago is like I'm pretty sure they're one of the top, maybe like top 3, but their first and second down runs, they like to run the first 2 downs. So a third and short isn't something that they can do another run, or they can go for 4th down. So I'm hoping that our rush defense is there for Green Bay, and Green Bay comes out on top Saturday night.
I notice when you get your picks for things that are your teams, you don't like to pick your own team, and if you do,
I don't.
Whenever you do, it's like you try your best to downplay it as much as you can. No, you don't want to. You don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, I don't. There's enough Chicago fans through the area here around, and I don't want to hear about it on Monday or even Sunday.
Fair enough.
So I'm hoping.
Fair enough.
Yeah, if the Packers win one game in the playoffs, it's got to be especially against the Bears.
I'll take it.
All right, last one: 49ers and the Eagles.
Well, I'm gonna say, since I let you go on the last one, I'll start this.
Yeah, you go ahead. Yep.
I think with injuries, the Eagles are going to win this because the 49ers are really they're banged up. I think Brock Purdy is a great quarterback on what he's handled with on his offense, but I'm pretty sure they're on like their 4th running back. Kittle's been in and out of the lineup. They're tight end, their receiving core. I don't know if they're 100% healthy because I'm pretty sure the last game Jennings got hurt. But they lost several of their defensive guys, and I really think that the Eagles have that playoff experience. It's going to be at home. I just don't think it's going to be a game for the 49ers to go to Philadelphia and win.
Yeah, I don't think Philadelphia has played their best game yet of the year, and that's the defending Super Bowl champions we're talking about. I could see Saquon having a great game. To Aaron's point, San Fran's defense is just so banged up, and I can easily see Hurts just dissecting that defense fairly easy at Philadelphia. Yeah, give me Philly. Not in a runaway, but I think this one might be a little bit further than the experts are saying.
Yeah, I think they have it closer, but I don't think that. I know like AJ Brown's complained on, he's not getting enough And I think internally there might be something that won't help them in a game like this, but I think with the secondary of the 49ers, I think Hurts will have the chance to use his arm, and it's how much he's going to take advantage of it is how big of a win I think they're going to have.
Well, you guys are pretty much in sync here on the NFC. It's going to be at least one upset. One of you guys is going to be wrong somewhere, or not. I don't know. maybe not.
Way to doubt us. Way to doubt us.
The baseball one was kind of all over the place, so we'll see what happens.
It was. I think I did. I think I got the half of the side right. It was the bad one was the World Series on what we thought of it, because me and Kraus were very Dodgers kind of blowing them out, and that didn't happen.
Yeah. All right, thanks guys. So then I'll do this and I'll put this up, and then I'll, like, every week I'll text you and get you for your picks, and I'll keep updating it, and I'll post pictures of your picks, and then we'll come back together and do the Super Bowl.
That sounds good. All right.
All right. Thanks guys. I appreciate it.